New fallout this morning after a New York Times op-ed written by an anonymous senior Trump administration official. This coming as veteran journalist Bob Woodward is releasing a book that provides what may be the most detailed look at the Trump White House so far for the president's inner circle. Joining me this morning to talk about the book is Wright State University political science professor Dr. Lee Hanna. Just this morning, moments ago, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo came out and said he did not write that opinion piece. It painted a pretty damning picture of what's going on within the Trump administration. What do you expect the continued fallout to be from that and the book?
Yes, you're right. So, this is an administration that, regardless of how you feel about them, they have spent an inordinate amount of time putting out fires, right? Kind of every week they maybe have a goal in mind, but something else comes out. And part of that is the fact that this White House is known for leaking. And so there's always kind of these stories flying. But the fact that the Woodward book, as well as this anonymous op-ed, which is unrelated, both came out within 24 hours of one another, has, as you said, put a number of high-level officials on the defensive. They're trying to come out and either try to set the record straight, deny what they can, but then also they want access to the president. They want the president's trust, and so that is something that we'll be watching in the next few weeks to see whether certain people are in or out based on these books.
It talks about wanting the president's trust, but it also talks about them not trusting the president. What are we learning from both this op-ed and the New York Times, and the book about kind of the inner workings of the president's inner circle? Sure.
So in some ways it's confirming some previous reports. Bob Corker, a Republican senator from Tennessee, called this White House an adult daycare. We've seen other kind of directives that the president has put out that seem to be slow-walked by his top aides. Mattis has slow-walked him on the transgender ban. Sessions slow-walked him on ending the Mueller investigation. So some of this is just more confirmation and maybe more details of what we know. It's just a lot of information coming, a lot of detail coming that maybe we haven't had in the past, all at once. And so does this lead to some pressurized moment where more people have conversations about the president and kind of going forward? It's hard to tell, but certainly the timing with looming midterms and everything else does matter.
Those midterms are sneaking up on us. Do you think that this book and some of these reports will have any impact on that and the decision that many voters will make?
Yeah, so as we were talking off air, it seems like we have a pretty memory of kind of how events play out, but I do think that each of these events kind of as a whole do at least for some voters out there, they do maybe change their calculus a little bit. So if there's a particular detail in the Woodward book who's much more credible than previous authors about this White House that is particularly offensive to a voter, then it may change what they do in November. So certainly it could have some effects at the margins. We know that a lot of people are really doubled down on either full-on resistance or full-on support kind of to the end. But, certainly there's still some motion in the middle.
So far, most of us have only seen some excerpts from that book, but that book's going to be coming out on Tuesday, so it'll be interesting to see what the public thinks.
Yes,
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Lee Hanna, joining us this morning. Our time now is 7:32.